Let's go ahead and bring in NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell, because the hurricane response has been politicized with Helene and now Milton. People need to be relying on the government, but there's a considerable amount of disinformation out there, and it's being spread by the Trump campaign and by Elon Musk on X. They are saying that FEMA isn't on the ground in the hard-hit areas. The government is not helping. Sue, does this go beyond just quips on the campaign trail saying something to try to get elected?
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. I mean, there's rhetoric and then there's dangerous speech, right? Donald Trump, Elon Musk, a number of Republican lawmakers spreading disinformation and lies about the government's response to these disasters, and it is hurting victims. How is it hurting victims? Well, if you've ever been through a disaster, you know how absolutely terrifying it is. And these lies create an additional layer of fear and confusion and anger for people who are already in severe distress. People who believe the lie that they're only eligible for $750 in relief, they may not even bother to file a claim, and that only hurts them. Or they may turn against their neighbors if they wrongly think that the neighbor got something that they didn't get. And they may decide that government is entirely untrustworthy, so they may not vote. And if they don't vote, Congress could end up doing whatever it wants with funding for FEMA. So these lies are hurting hurricane victims.
So, Sue, let's say Trump wins, Republicans take both the House and Senate. What does FEMA look like under a second Trump administration with both the Senate and the House in Republican control?
So, look, we've talked about Project 25, the think tank report that was authored by about 140 or so of Trump's allies, and it was endorsed by J.D. Vance, and it's called by the authors a blueprint for the next presidency. So first, what does FEMA do now? Well, it sends life-saving rapid response and relief wherever disaster strikes in the United States. It gives financial assistance to the communities to recover, and if homes and public buildings are damaged or destroyed, to help there. It runs the National Flood Insurance Program. Now, look, FEMA, as it is today, is far, far from perfect. But if Trump is elected and he follows Project 2025 suggestions, FEMA would be gutted. It would be privatized, and the cost would shift from the federal government to the states. So the feds would only have to pay for, say, 25% of the cost for a small disaster, 75% for catastrophic disasters. Right now, we all share the costs of recovery from a disaster for all the states and territories. Under Trump, the states hit would have a greater burden.
Sue, I'm old enough to remember the 9 words Ronald Reagan said no American ever wanted to hear, which were, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Right.
Bashing the government, a feature of the conservative party. You see it on stump speeches and campaigns. With so many dangerous things going on in the world, pandemics, wars, climate change, the government has its work cut out for it to make sure people stay safe. And it seems that we've gone beyond "I hate paying taxes" to the deep state. The government controls the weather, witch hunts. What happens when half the country not only dismisses the government, but demonizes it?
Yeah, Corey, you know, I think it's important. We do it here all the time in the newsroom. I think people should do it. Remain skeptical of the government. Remain skeptical of our leaders. Ask questions. Verify their responses. But look, when a citizen thinks that no part of the government can be trusted, that the entire government doesn't work, experts say that means people are less likely to actually follow laws and regulations, and that they start acting opportunistically. They avoid paying taxes, which of course reduces government services. And these individuals who don't trust the government are more likely to act in disruptive or violent ways. We saw that on January 6th. So skepticism is good for honest government, holding people accountable. Baked in suspicion, bad for everyone.
So you sound like a State Department worker. Trust, but verify.
Absolutely. We'll just keep quoting Ronald Reagan all day.
All right, Sue, thank you so much. We appreciate the insight. Remember, we cover all the latest headlines, both nationally and locally, every Sunday morning here on NBC 10. It starts with Meet the Press at 10:30, moderated by Kristen Welker. And then you can join me, Sue, and Matt Pritchard for At Issue at 11:30 a.m. right here on NBC 10 Boston.